Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you along a really big project that I'm undertaking. I'm going to be rehabbing my property. This property was hit very hard by a storm that flooded our area in 2024. So this is a lake house located in East Texas off the Trinity River. So the Trinity River created the lake that this house is on. But we've been having a lot of flooding since I moved to this property about 10 years ago. And in 2024, there was a big flooding event here in our area that really put all of these houses underwater. And so lots of damage occurred. As you can see, the neighbor's house is behind me, the reddish kind of maroon house, and they are still rebuilding. This storm did cause quite a bit of damage to my home. My home was hit by a tree and the roof got a big hole in it, which caused some flooding inside of my house. And I had about 3 large trees come down. And so they fell on my fence. They fell, in different parts of the property. We had to cut up these massive trees just to get the property a little bit back to normal. So there's been quite a few things that we've already done, but now I'm finally getting to working on the outside, which is just like the garden and stuff. Just because we haven't been around, it has really been overgrown. And so I'm starting to take, some of these weeded areas and clean them up. And so what I'm thinking to do is to really clean up this area by taking all of the weeds out. And I'm doing this by hand, and then I'm going to mulch the area. Prior to all of this that happened, we had actually some butterfly bushes all along here. And we actually had a fence dividing these two properties. So we're putting in a new fence. We're going to go ahead and mulch everything, and I'm not sure if I'm going to replant any of the bushes. I think there might still be some still here. I'll see if I decide to keep them or not. And so I'm working on this small area to begin with, and then we're going to move on to different areas. So there's lots to come here on this channel. If you are new to this channel and you want to follow the rehab of this property, go ahead and subscribe right now and give me a like while you're at it. So inside the house, I'm also working on a lot of different projects. I'm going to go ahead and be putting in some new appliances. We had a lot of issues with our electrical after this storm, and the power was just surging and doing all kinds of things. And it actually knocked my refrigerator out, my air conditioner out. And so I'm going to be putting in some new appliances here in the next week. I've already cleaned up the inside and, done a lot of those sorts of things after the flooding that happened. My whole couch was flooded. Everything was just in really bad shape. So I'm going to be working on some of the other things now that I've gotten most of basic aesthetic things in the house ready. But there are still lots of things, like I say, that have to be done as far as appliances. I think my water heater also went out. So it's been quite a journey after finding all of the damage that occurred from this one storm. So this one storm really displaced everybody here in my neighborhood. Everybody had to go stay in hotels or with family for almost a year. So it has been quite a journey here. It's been very difficult for everybody. Lots of people have actually moved away due to that. There had been quite a bit of flooding prior to this due to other storms such as Hurricane Harvey and all the different hurricanes that we experienced on this side of the coast. So people have been moving away, and this area has actually been deemed a buyout area by the government. And so many people are leaving, and they are tearing down their houses and going ahead and creating like a nature preserve that no one can ever build on. This is actually a small island, and I'm choosing to stay here and clean up my property and get everything back in order. So come along with me for this journey. I don't plan to go anywhere. I'm just making this place my sanctuary. There's been so many memories made here that I have no desire to leave. So we're going to go ahead and start off by just doing a lot of this weeding. And so it's amazing how fast weeds and just everything, the growth of everything takes over. And so I have been coming here and mowing the lawn and doing those sorts of things. But before you know it, the weeds and everything just come back. So that's why I'm choosing to mulch the area to keep some of those weeds down. We have lots of little viney plants, just all kinds of stuff that's really hard to deal with. So I'm going ahead and just pulling all of that stuff out by hand. And so I'm hoping that once I put the mulch down, it'll be easier to take care of. And then I'll just come here and mow the lawn and just take care of some of the basic things. So behind here is the lake. And so I have a property that really is right on the lake, and I will be showing you all of that area as well. The bank needs to be cleaned up. That's where we had some of the trees that came down. Some of the fencing and everything is over there as well. So you'll get to see that here to come. By the end of this video, you'll get to see how I mulched this area. It did take me a while. I think it took me over maybe 3 days of working on it. Of course, taking some breaks, but it did take quite a while to get all of these weeds out. This area is really a bit of a forgotten area. We don't get much help from the town or anything near us, so we really depend on our neighbors and ourselves to get everything done. This area is a little bit more removed from everything. We're at the riverbank of the Trinity River, and like I say, it's like a little island that has been, born from the Trinity River. So in this area, you see lots of wildlife. You see owls, bats, all kind of possums, armadillos. In the back where there's the lake, you can see alligators, all kinds of birds. It's a great place to come bird watching. So it's a really interesting and nature-filled area to live in, and I've absolutely loved immersing myself in nature here. It has been very peaceful, and even storms and things like that are beautiful to watch from my porch. So I have a beautiful little wooden, porch behind my house, and I sit there and I can watch the rain come down. The storms are so much, kind of more charged and powerful here in this area because of the river. And so it's really beautiful to be here during the sunsets, the sunrises, all of that stuff. So I'm really wanting to bring you along and show you all of that as things come together. But we got to start here. I'm thinking that this is important to do because we're getting ready to put the fence in, and these weeds are really taking over this whole area. So as far as the fence, we're doing the fence ourselves. My neighbor and I have worked on taking down some of the fencing that was already there, and we're looking to see what we can reclaim and still use. And then we're going to go ahead and put our fence in. So we're really working on these things together, and it's become quite a project. Some of these weeds that you can see are sticking to my pants. There are so many different little weeds that have seeds that spread everywhere. So I do have some weed killer there, although I did end up using it and it didn't seem to help. But there's just so many different kinds of weeds that reproduce that I'm gonna have to use some weed killer. If y'all recommend anything for helping keep some of these weeds from spreading, go ahead and comment down below. My whole project here is really just to get rid of everything by hand and mulch it and then keep up with it over time if anything comes through. I'm going to put down a weed barrier, so I think that should help. And then the mulch. And I'm going to put a heavy dosing of the mulch on there and, replenish it as needed. So this area is sort of like a little bit of the entry area to my home. So you can see a little bit there of the walkway. It has some stone walkway. And so here is how I got it down after a couple of days of working on it. I really got a lot of those weeds down, but you can see that they're not totally gone. As far as around this fountain, I was able to get everything out and go ahead and mulch it and put that weed barrier down. This is a shed right here, and right in front of it was a flower bed area where we had the butterfly bushes. I was able to get all the weeds out of there, put the weed barrier down, and put a lot of mulch. So this is after everything was said and done. I went ahead and just took a little video of it. My last section's a little bit darker, you can see. But after working on it for about 3 days, this is how it turned out. It's really a big difference from how it was. Thank y'all so much for coming along. And if you want to come along for the whole journey, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video.